Welcome back. Today we're tying a floating nymph pattern. They're a good addition to having your fly box when trout are surface feeding both before and during a hatch. The fly has 4 components: thread, 2 colors of dubbing, your choice of a shuck material, whether it be Antron, Zelon, EP fibers, whatever, and finally some poly yarn, also known as floating yarn, for the wings. Here I've got a size 12 standard dry fly hook in the vise. To begin, get the thread, here 8/0 uni in brown, started on the hook right behind the eye. After trimming the tag, bring the thread down the shank and position it right above the hook point. Take the shuck material and tie it to the shank, starting above the hook point and ending just at the bend. This is shuck yarn, and it's available from Fly Tyer's Dungeon. That happens to be the material that I've chosen for this fly. I use this material for a lot of flies, such as sparkle duns and the X-Caddis. Trim the shuck to about a hook shank in length. The dubbing I'm using is superfine, both for the abdomen, a dark brown, and the thorax in tan for a Hendrickson imitation. After spinning the dubbing on the thread, make touching wraps of dubbing to about the midpoint of the hook. Use additional dubbing if you run out. Give your thread an additional 2 to 3 turns beyond the dubbing to tie in the wing. The poly yarn should be cut into 1.5 inch lengths. With a bodkin, divide the piece in half, and then each one of those halves again. This will give you 4 wings for 4 flies. Attach the yarn just as you would when tying a spinner with figure-8 wraps, keeping a small distance from the end of the abdomen. When your wing is secure, you're ready to tie in the thorax. Remove any stray fibers of the poly yarn that could cause problems later on. Take the tan dubbing and make a noodle that you wrap both behind and in front of the wing. Then make crisscross wraps over the wing just as a spinner. As with the abdomen, you may need more than 1 application of dubbing to complete this part of the thorax. End with the thread just in front of the tan dubbing. Stand the 2 halves of the wing straight up with the fingers of your left hand, and then bend the yarn to form 2 loops with your right hand. These loops will imitate the emerging wings of the fly. Take 2 loose wraps over the wings. Take your fingers away to check for the size and position, and then take 5 or 6 wraps while holding the wings firmly in place. The thread should be increasingly tightened as you wrap. Pull back on the butt ends of the yarn and make several wraps in front to help stand the yarn up and make it easier to trim. Trim the ends as close as possible and make sure none of the fibers are over the eye of the hook. Use thread wraps to cover the butt ends of the yarn and any stray fibers. And now you're ready for the final step to finish the fly. Make another noodle with the tan dubbing and wrap over the thread to complete a nice thorax. The thorax should be larger than the abdomen and taper down nicely to the eye of the hook. There's always one persistent fiber that seems to avoid capture. Grab your whip finisher, make 4 or 5 turns of thread, and clip to finish. By substituting hook sizes and colors of material, most Mayfly hatches can be covered by this pattern. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.